Left Behind is the newest single-player DLC for The Last of Us, Naughty Dog's critically acclaimed post-apocalyptic game from last year. If you haven't played The Last of Us, you should really do that before playing Left Behind, and in fact, you should probably skip ahead in this review. The game tells the story of Ellie before her time with Joel traveling across the country. Ellie and her friend Riley are in the Boston quarantine zone and decide to have a little more fun before they part ways.
2 down. Full die!
The game jumps back and forth between Ellie and Riley, and Ellie's time with Joel after he gets seriously injured. The current day story involves Ellie trying to find medicine for Joel while searching through a creepy abandoned mall, and it can be incredibly scary and tense sometimes playing as Ellie, trying to find supplies while avoiding enemies. The Ellie and Riley story is pretty much just that, story. It's meant to be a more fun, uplifting, background revealing section than it is gameplay based. Speaking of gameplay, much of that gameplay that I loved from The Last of Us is still in Left Behind. The crafting system from the game is still the same and is still really cool. There are still different artifacts you can find that add to the story as well. There are also new infected plus human combat mechanics in which you can actually lure infected to attack humans and vice versa, making your life a little bit easier. It can also be a little tricky though if you get caught in the middle of them. Like The Last of Us, the story in Left Behind is fantastic. It is great to see that Naughty Dog can do a DLC that fits perfectly into the single-player story without feeling gimmicky or tacked on. I think the story they tell in Left Behind is smart, touching, and even funny.
What's a Facebook? Maybe it prints our faces in a book?
Left Behind has a great story that feels complete and fits into the tone of the actual game. The new gameplay mechanics feel really well done and add a new level of tension to the game. This is the first DLC in a long time that didn't feel tacked on in a last-minute effort to get more money. The only real negative I can think of for the game is that I wish it was a little longer, but that's just me being selfish.
Riley!
Other than that, Left Behind is almost the perfect DLC. I give Left Behind and The Last of Us 5 out of 5 goofs.
Oh, come on. When have we ever gotten into trouble?